So first of all, I need to thank you guys. We just passed 1,000 subscribers. I am blown away. Sincerely, thank you guys. That is entirely because of you, because you watch my videos, you subscribe to my videos. I am so grateful. I think a few days ago I was under 100 subscribers, and then I check again, and it's 200 subscribers, then 400 subscribers, 800 subscribers. Now we're over 1,000 subscribers. It's just doubled every single time I've checked it. It's absolutely crazy. I did not think it would go this quick. I started this channel a couple weeks ago. It hasn't even been a month, and I've broken 1,000 subscribers. So sincerely, thank you guys. It's just been amazing to check the page and have double the amount of subscribers every time. So on the subject of doubling, I want to talk about something that's really been talked about kind of a lot in the Smash community ever since E3, and that is Echo Fighters. I feel like everybody has Echo fever ever since DayZ got announced, and Sakurai gave a term for the clone characters, and they became Echo Fighters. People have just been talking about who could be an Echo Fighter, and who's going to be in the game, and what characters could have an Echo, and what characters are likely for it. We have DayZ for Peach, and now Lucina and Dark Pit are considered Echo Fighters. So who else is going to be a newcomer and be considered an Echo Fighter? And what's the difference between a clone character, kind of a fan term, but for like Dr. Mario or Pichu and Young Link, and what makes an Echo Fighter, and the criteria for that's kind of that line's kind of blurred, so we don't really know. But everybody seems to be talking about this. I think people are guessing way too many, and some characters that I just don't think really have a shot. But again, it's been Echo fever with everybody. So today I want to talk about the fighter that I think has probably the best shot of becoming an Echo Fighter, best shot of getting in the game as an Echo Fighter, and that character is Chrom. I think there is a lot of reason to think Chrom's in the game, a lot of reason to think he's probably going to be an Echo Fighter in the game, and ironically enough, while I do see him guessed as an Echo Fighter, he is not, by any means, seems to be the most popular Echo Fighter I see. Most of the time, actually, I feel like Shadow the Hedgehog is the most popular Echo Fighter, and I have to say I kind of disagree. So maybe I'll make a video on that. And I don't want to get into too much about other fighters in this one, but I don't really see it. I see a lot of Shadow and a lot of Dark Samus, and I just think there's the whole dark version of a character is pretty cliche. There are a lot to choose from. So, if you go down that path, there could be a ton of Echo Fighters. And again, I just really don't think there's going to be a ton of them. I think just because Sakurai named Echo Fighters, doesn't really change how many we're gonna get. We got 2 in Smash 4, mattering to how you would describe the clones in Melee and Brawl. Yeah, I guess some of those could have been potentially Echo Fighters if the term existed, but we've never really had a ton of them. They seem to be added almost as extra characters towards the end of development, or possibly just throwing a bone to some fan bases. So I'm kind of not thinking that we're going to get as many as I see people guessing at. And I'll get a little bit into Shadow. So here's my main reason why I don't think Shadow is going to get in. Yes, he is a assist trophy who we haven't seen return. He is, a very... he's got the same body type as Sonic, so sure, he can, he could be a good Echo Fighter for him. But my biggest complaint is that he is a third-party character. And I feel like if you add a third-party Echo Fighter, it kind of diminishes the guest status that that third-party characters have. I really think you need to be someone really special to get in as a third-party character. And I feel like if you start doing Echoes of third parties, if you do Shadow, what stops them from doing Ken? Ken seems like almost the perfect Echo Fighter. He's, kind of the original Echo Fighter for Street Fighter. You could do Gianna, you could do Mrs. Pac-Man, you could do Zack Fair, you could do... all the third parties could kind of have an Echo Fighter, because again, having that, counterpart character is super cliche in video games. And one super big issue with this is that one of the very likely Echo Fighters for a third-party character, Proto Man, was shown off in Mega Man's Final Smash. He was added to it for Smash Bros. Ultimate, so he wasn't part of it in Smash 4. So to add him into it is kind of deliberately saying, taking him out of the running as an Echo fighter. And, I do think the game will probably get DLC eventually. So, to take Proto Man away from, fans go, oh man, you added Shadow, you added Ken, like, let's get Proto Man in there too. It's like, well, you kind of gave him a Ridley on Pyrosphere situation. He's out. Like, so I don't see it happening. I really don't. So I'm sorry, if you really want Shadow, I mean, he has a shot. He definitely has a shot. There's a few things going for him. Just personally, not who I'm thinking. I'm thinking Chrom. There's a couple other characters I'm thinking. There's some other characters that are a little more likely, that I don't think are the most likely. Isabelle is one of them. Isabelle is just, I think she's kind of become the second Animal Crossing main character. Tom Nook a little bit, but I think Isabelle's kind of taken that spot from him. She hasn't been shown as an assist trophy, so, same thing as Shadow. But, maybe. She's kind of a maybe. I think Medusa has a decent shot. She could, use... Palutena had a lot of... custom moves. That was kind of her thing in Smash 4. So I could see Medusa, getting some of those custom moves given to her so that you could have kind of all of Palutena's moves in the game as a second character. So that's a possible one. Funky Kong is somewhat possible. I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I think the Funky Kong hype for an Echo is really more because he was in the Tropical Freeze port to the Switch. And, I didn't really see him talked about much before that. I think the way he stands, the fact he uses a surfboard, if you made him he'd be an Echo of Donkey Kong. I just don't see it working. It would be too different. Again, possible, but I don't see it that likely. And then there's some that are like, they could happen, but I don't see Sakurai doing it at all. I really think these have like zero shot, but possible. Ninten would be one. I just don't think the Mother series is going to get another rep. And if they did, I would much prefer like Porky or Masked Man, someone with a cool moveset potential instead of just throwing an Echo fighter of Ness. I don't know. I don't see it. Ninten looks a lot like Ness too. I think it would just be, and okay, so we have alt costumes too. Like Olimar has an elf alt costume. So, what really makes the difference? Why is Daisy Echo fighter and Elf is still an alt costume? I think the main thing here is that, Elf has basically the same... You can't show Elf's personality any different than Olimar, just making him a costume. So, whereas Daisy can have different taunts or just, slightly different ways she moves and does things and, be a different character, I don't see that happening with like Elf. Elf would just look the same as Olimar. So Ninten, very similar. If you make a Ninten Echo, what is really differentiating him? Another Echo I hear a lot, actually, that I think falls into that category is Dark Samus. Dark Samus's assist trophy hasn't been shown yet, but once again, how do you show Dark Samus's personality with no face? And if you make her an Echo, she can't use her, phase-on moves and stuff that the assist trophy uses. I really think Sakurai would probably choose to, if he wants to represent that character in the game, he's going to choose assist trophy. Only other one I can really think of off the top of my head that I hear a lot of is Black Shadow, but I think he's more like... He seemed more like he would be a clone maybe for Brawl or Smash 4 just to like change Ganondorf's moveset up and keep, the Falkendorf moveset on someone. But I don't see it happening at this point. Ganon's been changed, but still kind of the same, and I don't see any reason why anyone would keep that Falkendorf moveset somehow. It just doesn't strike me as something Sakurai's going to do. So let's get into the character that I actually think has a really good shot, and that is Chrom. So why do I think Chrom has a really good shot? He was planned as a possible fighter in Smash 4. This was changed to Robin and Lucina instead. So Sakurai was looking at Fire Emblem Awakening, and he was picking characters. Initially, he thought Chrom would make a really good fighter, but chose that Robin's more unique, and for whatever reason Lucina was going to be a clone. I think it was more a last minute thing. He basically said that Dark Pit, Lucina, and Dr. Mario were added towards the end of development for Smash 4. So we know that Chrom was planned because Sakurai said so in an interview, and if you know anything about the Gametsu leak from Smash 4, Chrom was in the Gametsu leak, so was Chorus Kids or Chorus Men from Rhythm Heaven, and those characters, although they didn't make it into the game, the leak was still real. It had credible information, just outdated. So the characters that we did get, like Wii Fit Trainer, obviously unguessable, definitely real information. And again, the fact that Sakurai had an interview where he said he planned Chrom, it's pretty much agreed upon. Gametsu was real. So, Chrom was planned. We know this. Sakurai said it anyway, so we don't even talk about the leak. So another thing in Chrom's favor is when the reveal trailer for Lucina and Robin was shown, they really teased Chrom. I mean, he was shown on the ground, all hurt. He said, oh, maybe I'll get a chance another day, or something to that extent. So it was like really, really hinted at that he was going to be in. And the fact that Sakurai was planning him, it feels like almost he was taking the Chrom fan base and again, teasing them. So seems pretty likely that maybe this time around, Sakurai might feel a little bad about that, or feel like he should maybe make up for it and give them, a character. And what's an easy way to add a character? Echo Fighter. Another thing going for him is that, because he's in the reveal trailer and because he actually ended up being part of Robin's Final Smash and Robin's End Victory theme, Chrom has a full model from Smash 4. So I don't want to get into the debate about whether Smash Bros. Ultimate is a port or not, but they definitely used a bunch of assets from Smash 4, and something they could easily do is port over, Chrom's character model and just, give him another character's moveset. Just to be clear here, I do not think he will be a Marth clone. I mean, we had Marth, we had Roy, who kind of got, de-Echo Fighter or de-cloned, whatever, and switched with Lucina as our Marth clone. So I do not think we'll get another one of those. I think Chrom will be a Ike Echo Fighter.
The winner is... Nice for my friends.
So in Smash Bros. 4, because Snake's not in that game, they switched it up and they had the talking points on the Palutena stage. They have the Kid Icarus characters will appear and give a little conversation with the character. I think Sakurai probably chose it because he has easy access to Kid Icarus stuff. He made Uprising. So in that, if you play as Robin, and since Robin and Chrom are kind of a joint character in Smash 4 because of the Final Smash and the Victory theme, Chrom actually pops up when you do the I don't know what they call the Kid Icarus one, the Codex on that stage. And Viridi comes up and she calls him a carbon copy of Ike.
Certainly more useful than a simple swordsman like myself.
Plus, you and Ike are too similar. No point in having two characters that are pretty much carbon copies, am I right?
So if you had any doubt in your mind, who Chrom would be an echo of, it would definitely be Ike. Sounds almost like Sakurai, if he had chosen Chrom, he might have chosen him as, a clone or echo fighter. He might have really had Lucina's spot, whereas Robin was always planned to be the awakening, main newcomer that we get in Smash 4, and then he was going to pick a clone character, and it was either going to be Lucina or Chrom. He went with Lucina. So just interesting thing about I just like this on the Palutena stage is that the Viridi's voice actress plays Starfire in Teen Titans, and I just really like that she says Robin in Smash, and it's like the same voice because Starfire is always saying Robin in Teen Titans because that's one of main character Robin, Batman or Robin, whatever. So I just like that. It's just neat.
We know you're trying to play the hero and all, but you can only join in if Robin gets the Smash Ball, right?
I know there was a little bit of controversy about using the Aether move. I think that gets said too, but Chrom does use Aether. I mean, he's a little different than Ike does, but you can change an animation slightly.
What's more, you don't have an ether recovery move like Ike does, do you?
Then one more thing that helps Chrom out is when Smash Brothers got DLC, Smash Brothers 4 got DLC, Chrom was one of the characters that got a Mii costume. So he's right up there with Gino and Ashley and K. Rool, for characters that got Mii costumes. And again, I feel like those were really chosen out of the ballot, and I really feel like the ballot is where a lot of the characters are going to be picked here for Smash Bros. Ultimate. So on the subject of Robin's Final Smash, we haven't seen it in Smash Bros. Ultimate. So why would you hide that? It's possible it's because Chrom is in the game. Also, we haven't seen his victory theme. Now, I don't think we've seen any of the characters that weren't in the demo's victory theme, and obviously Robin wasn't part of the E3 demo, but still, another piece of evidence. So final piece of evidence kind of in Chrome's favor is that Ike usually, and at least in Smash 4, he had a alternate colored costume that was kind of a color palette that was reminiscent of Chrom. So it was sort of his Chrom outfit. That's been removed. So, it's just another piece in the mounting evidence towards Chrom's inclusion. So there's another character a lot of people are guessing at that also was a removed alt color. That was Dark Samus, who I already said I really don't think has that much of a chance. And, I'll just get into that real quick. Basically, if you got rid of Samus's alt color, there might be another reason for that. It might not be because, Dark Samus is playable. It might be because they changed something about assist trophies this time. Assist trophies can be KO'd. So if you can knock out an assist trophy and get a point, if you had one character running around who was colored like Dark Samus, and then the Dark Samus, assist trophy comes out and you knock that out, you may get confused and think you just knocked out your opponent, and then your opponent shows up and attacks you. I think that I know people in the Smash community kind of don't talk too much about items and that in time matches where getting kills really matters, but that's the sort of thing I feel like as a game designer Sakurai would want to avoid. So he would take out an alt colored costume for Samus so that you wouldn't get confused when you KO the assist trophy. It's a point I don't see many people talking about, but I really think it kind of hurts Dark Samus's chances, or explains why that alt costume isn't there. On the subject of assist trophies, Sakurai said there was going to be more than 50. We have seen, I think, 29. That means there are 26 missing, I believe, of past assist trophies. And in Smash 4, I don't think... So Smash 4 had some Brawl assist trophies come forward, like some returning ones, and of the assist trophies that were only in Brawl, the ones that didn't move forward into Smash 4, in Smash Bros. Ultimate, we haven't seen a single one. So, that cuts out, I think it's like 9-ish. Don't quote me on that number, I'm not positive. But, so, to get over the 50 mark, we would have to have quite a few new assist trophies, and probably return nearly all of them. The one assist trophy I think that might become a playable character in my mind is actually Ashley. So, the Shadow fans that think that Shadow's going to be an Echo Fighter, the people who are pulling for Dark Samus, I'm just not on the page with that. I guess the one other one that might happen would be Isaac, but Isaac was actually one of those Brawl assist trophies that didn't even show up in Smash 4, so tough to say whether or not Sakurai even thinks Golden Sun is worth representing. I mean, I'm sure there's a big fan base for him. I like Isaac. I prefer Golden Sun. Like, when, Smash 4 was coming out, I really wanted I wanted Isaac to come out. I wanted Isaac in Brawl, but it didn't happen. I feel like he's kind of missed the mark. I suppose there's a possibility that maybe Sakurai took, Isaac out of the assist trophies with the intention of maybe adding him as like a DLC character or something, and it just never happened in Smash 4. So, I guess it could go either way, but I'm kind of leaning more towards, unfortunately, because I like Isaac, that he's probably just not going to show up. He might be a returning assist trophy. Maybe they'll bring some of those Brawl ones back. And if there was anyone that they'd bring back, probably be Isaac, because I think he did decently well in the ballot. So other Echo Fighters I think have a shot besides Chrom. I think Impa's probably the second most likely, but maybe I'll do a separate video on her. I already talked about, Isabelle and Medusa and a couple other ones. I hate to say it, but as far as people, wanting Shadow, I really don't think he's possible. I think maybe if we got one third-party assist, or not assist trophy, third-party Echo Fighter character put in, it might be Tails. I know he's absent from the Green Hill Zone stage. I think it's only Silver running around doing the loop-de-loop now. So he's got to be somewhere. But since Knuckles is an assist trophy, and we're supposed to get over 50 of them, I'm kind of thinking, Tails is probably just going to be another assist trophy. People love Tails and Knuckles, so, I just think that's where he probably is going to be. And honestly, I don't really see him as an Echo Fighter anyway. I mean, he'd be like a semi-clone, if anything. I'm really only talking about him in regards to Echo Fighters because everyone's guessing Shadow the Hedgehog might be an Echo Fighter, And I just feel like if a third-party series is going to get a second rep, maybe the only one that really has a chance would be Tails. I say that just because, you know, Sonic's been here since Brawl. He's the one that's stuck around. So, you know, I could see the Sonic series getting a second rep. But I think it would be on its own merit. It wouldn't just be because, oh, you can make an easy Echo Fighter of Shadow. It would be because, you know, Tails has been asked for a while too. Like, the oldest like Smash rumor I can remember is this fake thing where people were saying that Sonic and Tails were in melee if you know, unlocked or did this like ridiculous task to like get them unlocked, and that was like really the original, you know, Smash rumor. And Tails got like, he got a Mii costume, so, you know, there's definitely something to be said with Tails. I mean, Knuckles did too. So again, I think he's probably an assist trophy. I don't really think he'd be an Echo Fighter. I mean, he'd probably have to fly around and stuff. So, you know, if anything, a possible third-party series getting a second character as a semi-clone, but that would be on Tails' own merit. And I just see that way more than Shadow getting in. I guess, so one that I hear people talking about a lot too, probably this is my final point here on Echo Fighters, I hear Dixie Kong a lot. I don't think Dixie will be an Echo Fighter. I think it's possible. I know that Diddy doesn't appear to have his tail attacks, so, you know, maybe that was taken out so that, you know, they could do a Dixie Echo. I think she will be a semi-clone. Now keep in mind, clones are not gone. Like, we have, you know, Dr. Mario, Pichu, Young Link, you know, whether or not you count, like, Falco or Roy or Ganondorf from the characters kind of been decloned or even further from being even called a semi-clone. You know, we still have those characters, so I really don't think just because we have the term Echo Fighter, it's going to change how Sakurai does things. And I feel like if Dixie Kong was in the game, she would fight a lot like Diddy, but she would also use her hair and do a few other, you know, moves that are specifically hers. She would be a semi-clone. So, you know, I guess that's the end of my discussion on Echo Fighters and Echo Fighter fever, really. You know, I just want people to kind of, you know, understand that just because we heard this term probably doesn't mean we're going to get a ton of these guys. It probably means we're going to get the same thing we always get. Maybe a couple Echo Fighters, maybe a semi-clone. You know, we're not supposed to get that many more newcomers, so maybe a little less than usual, honestly. But I don't think just because it has a term now, it's going to be this huge thing in this game. So, you know, I talked about a lot of them, though. And, you know, I do think we might get more than one. If I had to put my, you know, money on it, make a bet, I'd say it's going to be Chrom and Impa. And I'll do another video on it, but I don't want to get into Impa now because I feel like I could do a whole thing on it. But who do you think is going to be an Echo Fighter? Or what character do you want me to just review? If you have an Echo Fighter you want me to review, let me know. Maybe I'll do a little more research on it. And, you know, even if I don't really think they're going to get in, I could still maybe do a pretty good analysis video on it. And if there's another character you want me to do, you know, let me know that too, even if they're not an Echo Fighter. So once again, thank you guys for all the subscribes, all the likes. It really helps out the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, or like the video, or leave a comment, whatever you want. Until next time, have a good one.